Hey everyone, welcome to episode 10 of the Sounds of Skaia podcast. Last week was a instant classic, and this week will be a lot different. This week will be a lot worse, and with our guests, me, Luke the Nerd, who has been on the Cool and New Music team, done some art, now this is really all I do, and and Roxy, what do you do?
I make a comic and work on it every 3 weeks for about an hour.
And Tad? Who are you?
My name's Tad. I do a podcast called Let Me Tell You About, and a Dungeons & Dragons podcast called Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast. And, Homestuck mildly irritates me. Well, between mild irritation to hatred, somewhere in that range, it kind of fluctuates.
Oh man, you like that game too?
I mean, it's no Hive Swap. I mean, that's my favorite 3D game of all time.
For sure.
So, speaking of best 3D games of all time, the first song that we're going to play is Homestuck Anthem by Clark Powell. Now, this song, it's very good. It reminds me of Homestuck, because it's in the name, and also because I listened to it in Homestuck albums. It's very minimal, I feel, but it builds like a great tone for the webcomic, and it's very optimistic, which I feel is how most of Homestuck is remembered.
Yeah, I really like this song, that's obvious. But personally, I really look up to Clark. I think they're really awesome.
Yeah, this song, it always actually stuck out as a little bit out of place to me. This was right after Hivebent finally fucking ended.
Was that considered a slog when it was first coming out?
Yes, because it was very, very, very text heavy. There was one flash, and it wasn't focusing on the world of Alternia as much as it was the characters. The original intent was to really quickly show you this, show you some aspects of Spurb, rapid fire through their session, get back to the main story. But in typical Homestuck fashion, that ballooned outward into being a much bigger deal. When I first started reading Homestuck, I first became aware of it on 2010, April 13th, when Descend came out, because I was on the Super Mario Bros. Z fan forum, and there's a really popular thread that had it on there, and I watched it, and I remember not being able to understand a goddamn thing that was happening. Nothing made any form of sense. And my friend Tim, he also went by Khan, he was bugging me about it, and I'm like, alright, fine, I'll read Homestuck. And so I read Homestuck over the next 3 weeks. I finally caught up when Aridin was being introduced, and the shitty wands fell out of his fridge. And so that was right after the only flash in there, which was Make Her Pay. So I caught up when Aridin was introduced, and there was still a few more weeks where you had Aridin and Feferi doing their bullshit. Then you had some Spurb stuff. And then it was finally over. They jumped past being the Black King. They went to open the door, went into Solix's eyes, came out, went to the other one. And I remember when this flash did come out, I had this real, this big, feeling of relief wash over me, because I'm like, alright, Hivebent's finally over. I won't have to deal with those trolls anymore. We can get back to the main story. And I believe, it was the first flash that I was around for as it came out.
Shoot, guys, I'm getting a phone call. Keep talking.
And after this, I believe, was... and I remember they fucking cock-blocked me, too, because it went to Jade, because Act 4 ended with Descend, where her house exploded and Jade was falling. And then Beck appears, puts a bed underneath her, she falls on it, and then immediately fucking falls asleep, and then just cuts away, and I think it came back later, but I was frustrated,
Wait, is that when she has the dream with the horror terrors?
Yep.
To me, when I first saw that was terrifying to me, because I was...
Because you didn't expect it, right?
Homestuck
I didn't expect it at all, but also I was watching it in the dead of night. So it was not a good combination. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, what I always liked about the Homestuck Anthem is that it doesn't use any of the pre-established melodies. It doesn't pull anything at least that I'm aware of. It doesn't, or at least obviously, it doesn't, obviously pull from Endless Climb or Doctor or Eben Pyre, nothing like that. It's its own theme that...
And the thing is, I don't think it's been remixed, at least not that I can tell.
It was remixed once when Act 6 started.
Really? I thought it was just the same song again.
Nope, it was a little bit remixed because was it? It might not have been when it started. It might have been a little bit later. I'm getting my flashes mixed up. It was the introduction because it was a repeat, but everything was in the fall as opposed to the summer. During the Homestuck anthem, you had John as a child, as a very, very young child, and Karkat was watching him as he did his shit.
Creep.
You got to see a lot of the things that John alluded to in the beginning of the comic. It was a very slow, deliberate, like boom, 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 notes. They played out. They let them kind of hang there for a bit before going to the next one, and then finally realizing where it gets and done. And then we get to see John. Like the next page immediately is John in his Air of Breath outfit, about to start Cascade.
Oh shit! Yeah, there isn't. John doesn't really do a whole lot in Act 5, Act 2, does he?
He does some stuff, because remember, in Act 5, Act 2, it jumps around a lot, because this was also with Seer Descend, with Jack Noir, or Jack's version of Noir LaCroix, I think he was at the time, where he fights and gets immediately fucking murked, and then you see, like, Rose slowly start to die off as a character. But yeah, Homestuck Anthem was pretty good.
Yeah. You got me thinking about it now, because we're talking about flashes and Jack and everything. You know when Scratch takes over and it shows Rose and Jack fighting?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that was originally supposed to be a flash, and then I guess Hussey just decided to still use the art, but not use it for a flash, which I find interesting.
I always thought that was a little, yeah. I remember thinking, oh, well, this is fucking lame. We don't even get a flash about it. People were being real pessimistic because there was something going on with the comic. I think it was slowing down. This is when it started to slow down. And I think it was after Scratch got to his last... Yeah, it was Scratch did his bullshit, and then the last frame was Jade got killed by the Barbasol bomb that Club's Deuce dropped on her, and then that was it for about 3 months, maybe? Maybe even less than that. It might have only been like 8 weeks. And then Cascade...
Yeah.
I discovered that it was supposed to be for a flash because I was looking through the portfolios of Homestuck artists for NSA I was doing, and I found the Rose and Jack sprites on somebody's portfolio, and the description said this was supposed to be stuff for a flash, but he ended up using it for something else instead. So I found that really interesting.
That's pretty cool, though, to know that he was originally planning on doing it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next song is Skaian Skirmish.
Yeah, sorry for getting out of hand
by Andrew
there.
Vo and Toby Radiation Fox. It's all good, man. I really like the song. Nobody really talks about it, I feel. But I find it fun. It's a fun song, and it brings me fun thoughts.
This is the one where WV starts the uprising, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a really good song.
It doesn't go as far as you remember it, though. And like you said, Luke,
stops right
I actually
Wait,
I forgot
really?
how much I like this track as well. It's kind of one of the hidden tracks. You don't really see a lot of people talk about it. You don't see a lot of people make a big deal out of it as much as they would like Jack Ascend. This is one that I really, really liked because I really liked Wayward Vagabond as a character at this point. Because he was this small guy. He didn't have anything really special about him. And he was directly involved in a lot of these mysteries. And you see in the Flash, you get some really cool exposition stuff. You get to see the Skaian deepest lore, showing the battlefield as it transforms, like Nana Sprite alluded to. And they showed off the chess-themed enemies that you never really get to see because the players never... They go to Skaia near the end after it's already fucked. But you get to see like the horses, you get to see the prospect princesses on the castles in there. And a lot of those really neat designs. I think you get to see a horse in Alternia Bound way later on when you were exploring it. You got to see like the cloning facilities. There's like these little... electronic blippities and bloppities and blitz. I have no idea what to refer to them as, They're like zip, zip, zip. I guess it's a theremin maybe, or maybe it's just
I'm
digital.
pretty sure they're zip, zip, zip.
Yeah, it's just like the little zippity noises. I really like those. I no idea what to call them. But yeah, this is where you get to see Wayward Vagabond's backstory, where the music kind of builds up as it starts off. It establishes the melodies. You see the battle playing out, and then the battle starts to build up as he rallies both sides together under this really torn and ratty banner to get him like, hey, let's enough of this. This is awful. Let's fix this. And this is when you first get to see the level of threat that Jack Noir is, because the comic mentions the Black King as being like the big motherfucker on campus. He's the guy at the end.
Right.
And Jack takes him down with just a few swings of the sword. Takes out the scepter, cuts his head off.
He's Biff Tannen.
He is the Biff Tannen.
Yeah, jump over a tree and get out of here, please. Wait, what do you say?
I don't remember, but
jump over a tree.
And this was really interesting for Wayward Vagabond because in the Flash ends with what is it? What is PM's name before she becomes the desert one? What is her name?
Peregrine Medicant?
I think it's Parcel Mistress.
Yeah, Parcel Mistress.
Isn't it
right.
Peregrine Medicant?
That's what she becomes when she's in exile. But yeah, so Parcel Mistress. She made a deal. That's right. She made the deal with Jack to get the bunny.
Right.
In exchange, because he gave her, like, as a joke, like, here, give me the Queen's ring and the King's scepter, and I'll give you this fucking thing. Like an obviously lopsided deal in his favor, or so he thought.
Ooh.
So she goes to get the scepter. She goes to the Queen to get the ring, exchanges it with him, does all that shit. But this one kind of ends as he's losing that scepter, because originally he was just going to go grab it. Hearts Boxcars was just going to get it, and that was the end of it. But he didn't get it, or Homogeneous Brute, or whatever the fuck. But yeah, this was a fun one. It adds a little bit more to Skaia's plate, musically, because before you only had the theme that played when Nana Sprite was talking about it, and that was just kind of a slow, like, 10-second, looping theme. It wasn't really much you could really play off of. Yeah, Wayward Vagabond is good. It's a shame that he kind of got character assassinated as the comic went on, but I think that's partially because
it was Homestuck.
Like at the Cascade, and I guess spoilers for almost a decade ago, Wayward Vagabond gets killed in Cascade. Jack pulls out the uranium, and I think Andrew Hussey realized that he added so many different ways to revive people that it would have felt more weird to keep him dead, even though he really didn't have anything left to do. Because what did Wayward Vagabond do after he came back? Nothing except just kind of be there.
He had a lot of cute moments, but he didn't really do anything useful for the plot.
Yeah, because at that point there really wasn't anything left to do. But this is one of the examples of he added so much stuff into the comic that...
Didn't he die twice too?
Maybe.
Wait, no. Yeah, he died twice, but the second time he died was in the timeline before John did the retcon.
Oh god, and that retcon shit was so dumb. Oh, don't get me started on that and how he fucking bungled that up.
I still
I
stand by liking it.
want to make films just so that in every scene I can put a blue arm in the background. Shot for shot remakes, like the Psycho remake with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on Sky and Skirmish.
Yep.
I'm not talking at all. Alright, great. And I love that. I don't like my voice.
Wait, this is Doctor.
Shit.
No, it's not. That's Savior
Right.
of the Waking World.
Oh,
I
right,
recognize it immediately.
No, wait a minute.
Now
we were on Sky and Skirmish.
Now you're playing Clockwork Melody. You're too fast.
Yeah. Wait, what song am I trying to play?
We were on Sky and Skirmish before. Now we're on Savior of the Waking World.
So the third song, Savior of the Waking World. It is
the third song ever.
Yeah, it is.
Third song ever made in the year.
It is.
One?
There it is.
Yeah, it was made in the year of 3.
One, starring Michael Cera, Jack Black.
Oh yeah, Michael Cera does the vocals for this song.
I can't believe Michael Cera and Michael Guy Bowman are the same person.
Yeah.
Michael Cera Bowman.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Sing your heart out, Michael Cera.
Ooh, Michael Cera killing it.
I actually never really paid too close attention to the vocals in the background there. I think I just kind of breezed past them. I never really paid attention to it.
I was joking. I didn't even know there were vocals in this track.
If you listen very closely, you can hear them.
And let me...
Yeah, they're saying, this is Homestuck. This is Homestuck. This is Homestuck. I am Homestuck. Hello, hello. But it's very slow.
Shit! Yeah, they are there. I did have to listen really closely, though.
Mm-hmm. They're just kind of hot. They're a chorus that just holds a single
Are they
note.
saying Yanni or Leonard?
Die. Die. I'm leaving.
I will...
This is the end of your podcast, son.
Ooh. I believe, yeah, they're saying Yanni.
Okay, here's the thing about that stupid Yanni Laurel bullshit. If you listen, you can easily tell it's just two different wavelengths. There's nothing like
this is coming out in 2 weeks.
There's nothing. Okay, with the fucking the blue and like dress thing, that had something more interesting going on. The Yanni Laurel thing, anyone can hear either one.
The only thing it's good for is to make a meme out of. Discord did a real funny meme where they just the audio was just by Discord Nitro. That was funny.
Nice.
The Yanni Laurel thing is so fucking dumb.
Nicki Minaj is dating Eminem.
What?
Sorry, keep talking. I was just so shocked.
Wait, is that real?
It's real.
What the fuck?
Oh my God, celebrity
Christ.
News gossip with a background of Homestuck.
2 weeks later.
Well, this is primarily a gossip podcast.
Hot takes 2 weeks after they happen.
Sweet Christmas. Sweet Christmas.
I'm just gonna predict the news. Mike Pence gets in a car crash. I predict it right here, right now.
And that's when he has his trigger event, and Mike Pence becomes Mike Electric Fence Pence.
Yes, exactly.
Tobey Maguire dies of ass cancer.
Tobey Maguire.
Mike Pence becomes the blue guy in Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Anyway, so Savior of the Waking World.
One of her followers asked, "You dating Eminem?" with 3 question marks. Without going into detail, Minaj replied, "Yes."
Oh, okay.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Savior of the Waking World. It's a beautiful song. I don't know what to say. I really like the instruments, and it's a great remix of Doctor, because that's basically what it is. Well, it's more than that, but...
Yeah, this was preceded by another Flash where you got to walk around and explore the land as John, but this time there was... Oh yeah, that's right. There was combat in like one small section where you could enter the Trickster code and actually play as Dave, but that feature is broken. Last time I checked, I don't know if Viz Media fixed it so you could do Trickster stuff anymore.
I'm still just so shocked.
I don't even know who Nicki Minaj is. I have no idea what she does.
Nicki Minaj,
the hottest K-pop star of 2018.
She either makes songs or dances to them or sings them. One of the three. It doesn't matter.
She sings and makes songs, but more importantly, she is the most important person to the Homestuck mashup scene.
This one is for the boys with the booming system. Top down AC with the coolest system. When you come up in the club and you blazing up, got stacks on deck that you saving up.
Kesha Stuck. Nicki Minaj was a character in Kesha Stuck. Never forget.
I don't even know what Kesha Stuck is.
Oh my god, Kesha Stuck. I never.
This is my gimmick. Is that I'm a super huge fan of Homestuck, but I didn't. The most I ever got involved with fandom projects was laughing at the voice acting like attempts that people put up on Tindeck.
Hey, put me down, you moron.
Never.
And
oh my god, behind the voice actor auditions, I've spent hours. I've spent hours on behind the voice actors on those voice acting websites just looking at auditions.
No, I'm talking about like people who go on Tindeck and do their like Nepeta voice that sounds the exact same as everyone else, as they're like puffing into their microphone really loudly. And
I'm Kirkhead Vantas.
Hey, I'm Kirkhead. If I do the Kirkhead voice, it's just gonna turn into Jared posting. Hey, my name's Kirkhead. Weak is true. I couldn't even be out to play. Fuck. If you voice acted Homestuck, whatever. It's none of my business.
Paul Henderson's Kirkhead
Y'all just
is
turn
my
into
favorite.
Steve-O.
But it's probably just because I'm so used to it.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't particularly have a voice for the characters I read. I don't read them in my mind as having a voice. Certain moments where they'll say something, I can just naturally kind of I can add an inflection or hear a noise.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. But I'm not actively reading things in a Nepeta voice,
I'm reading it all out loud.
The thing is, I use the Let's Read primarily for reading Homestuck. So if you say Car Cat, I hear Paul Henderson because that's just the voice that I think of immediately. And he does a great voice because it's like a high-pitched Car Cat, and I don't think there's a lot of those.
I don't know how well the voice acting of Homestuck translates, because it's a comic that relies a lot on visuals, which makes it seem a little odd. Because some of the things will also, characters will represent themselves via text quirks. And
right, they show the chat logs and have voice acting.
I could see the appeal of it, because it's more accessible. You don't have to sit down at a computer. Only recently can you actually read Homestuck on your phone. Before you would have to have, it was a huge fucking pain in the ass. Or you had to get the offline archive, which you had to message some dude and go through a weird a metaphorical dark alley to get.
You want to download Homestuck for offline reading? That's why we got the books.
If I ever get access to that thing, I'm gonna fucking put it on BitTorrent.
I mean, I've got it. I've got it from up until 2 times update. Anyway, so back to Savior of the Waking World. So it was after that flash, and what it was is John. It's essentially getting to the mid-game of Spurb.
That's when he ascended, right?
Yeah, because he goes up there, Vriska, tricks him to go up there and take a nap. Jack appears, just stabs him, and then just fucks off.
Bye.
And, it's got those chants in the background, because it's this whole ritual. The quest bed is on this giant spire. He has to climb up, and it's got these pillars around it that represent the 4 players. And they start glowing, and as John's being lifted up in there, as he's, he died on his quest bed, and he still had a dream self. Skaia lights up. Every character, every one of the kids could see it and look up from what they're doing to see John. Then I don't know if they get to see John, but they see Skaia light up, and John's on Skaia now. Spurb has finally deemed him mature enough to be able to handle these powers that they're giving him, because that's what Spurb is it's a test to have people mature to the point at which they would be able to handle winning the final reward.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's also
Spurb is very fun.
You're literally sending out a giant sperm into the egg of Skaia.
I haven't talked in 10 minutes, so I'm just going to say hello. Okay, keep talking.
I mean, that's basically all I had to say.
Wonderful. Next song, Clockwork Melody.
Oh, Clockwork Orange. A movie I've never seen. Or that's a book, isn't it?
It's a movie, too.
Is it? I haven't seen or read it.
I'd say that the film is more well known. That's weird that you know it as a book.
I just thought in my mind, wait, is it a book? That's really all.
But there are so many references to Homestuck and cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have time to research them all for my essay. I really should have put a little bit more time into that.
What has I know that Sweet Bro and Hello Jeff has referenced a lot of things. I know that Starbound has the perfectly generic cube. What other releases have some kind of Homestuck reference to them? I heard about this game called Hive Swap.
Reference in Ready Player One.
Is there?
Wait, what the fuck was there? I never saw that movie.
Homestuck references in, and Ready Player One showed up. Oh my, is this real?
Because remember, there was the wiki page that was bombarded with just every single pop culture reference possible. I don't think you could take that as law.
Yeah, remember when Sans Undertale showed up in the final battle in the Oasis? I like how every character was shows up in the final battle in the Oasis. Every single character.
The end of Ready Player One, where Sans Undertale appeared and says, "Guess your tale is over."
Remember at the end of Ready Player One when Popeye shows up and beats everyone's ass?
Yeah, I remember that really well.
Real shit, if you could put Popeye to anything. Dude, Popeye's the fucking dude. He's the dude.
Popeye and Homestuck.
No.
So you can't put him in anything now?
And anything of quality, Popeye should... Fuck, no, because Ready Player One is not quality.
Yeah.
This is all bazinga-ass shit, alright?
I like this podcast. I think we should
Clockwork
just have...
Melody.
Yeah.
Clockwork Melody is... I don't think it was used at any point in the comic, or the motif from it.
I remember it being used as one of those like After Flash songs where it's like end of year, whatever. I may be wrong, but I think I remember it being used as an After Flash song.
I know that it was used for Land of what was it? It was Land of Candles and Clockwork Alpha Mix. And I don't think a beta everyone came out. That was in volume 5, 9. I think. Okay, well, I was way off. And I really, really liked it. There was this one picture that I always associated with it, which was it was Dave with his back to the camera sitting on one of the gears.
That might have been the actual official track card.
It could have been. Because I've seen a few of them. I always really like the idea. The lands have always been one of the more interesting parts. And candles and clockwork, put them in there. You could paint a whole thing. For some reason, I always added in. I think it's because of the name. Because I would listen to these while I was at work. I'd put them into my phone, listen to them when I wasn't supposed to when I was outside. Because I'm working a minimum wage job, I'm gonna fucking listen to this because there's no reason for me not to, other than you saying no.
That's also how you've learned how to listen to my podcast.
Mm-hmm. But I guess
episodes.
The art, I guess just in my mind, I filled in that artwork as having like, same with the lava, but having like the gears with candles on them, like candle wax dripping off. I always got that kind of feeling from it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until our last podcast session. I think it was the last session where you mentioned it. But that the land of heat and clockwork is just a hostile land of motion and heat. Mm-hmm. I never even thought about how basically everything is moving all the time. I never thought about it like that.
The lands are always connected to the kids pretty well. And this comes back to one of the points I mentioned before, is that some things in the comic are planned from the start. John's Wind and Shade, that one is a little bit harder to connect to him. Dave's is the most obvious because with his brother, and when I say obvious, I don't mean it like in any kind of insulting way, just that it's easier. I personally see the connection easier, and that's that Dave had that whole fucking thing going on with Bro, where he'd constantly be on edge. Bro would want to fight. There was never any time to actually relax. And then with Heat and Clockwork, and then of course, it was Houston. It's hot as fuck. And when he was entering in, you had that sun spiral that Andrew Hussey uses a lot, that he uses in the sky. He also uses it underneath the beat mesa. He also uses it inside the eye of oh god, what's her name? Terezi's ancestor. Do you remember her name?
Red Glare.
I'm not helping you.
Red Glare. Red Glare's dragon also has that sun in its eye. It's a motif that's used a lot for something that I love that very song. That's the best version of what's the theme called? What's the original one when Dave's going up to fight Bro?
Upward movement.
The Terezi one, she confronts Vriska, is probably the best version of that one because it's really,
I
cool.
agree. Terezi owns is what it's called.
But yeah, Heat and Clockwork is hot. It's got really strong enemies. The closest thing he gets to relaxing on that is when he's managing all the time loops to play the stock market and play those fucking crocodiles like chumps. Rose had a bunch of islands that were completely separate from each other. And in the books, in the book commentary, He mentions his original plan for the land was that the islands are made out of chalk, and that the chalk was poisoning and killing everything in the ocean. And so Rose would have to decide between, like, fixing the waters but dooming the land, or saving the land and dooming the water, or something like that. So hers was, everything was,
that sounds really cool.
Everything is in a spot that is disconnected from the... Rose would have to go from one spot in a very hostile environment where she'd have to go in this boat to another island way off in the distance, which correlates to her keeping very much to herself, being very snarky, being very, very sarcastic, not opening up, not being connected to other people. And then Jade, it's Frost and Frogs is a little bit harder to connect, other than, like, one of Jade's major things, and I don't know if this is really something that Andrew Hussey thought of as he was making the character, or if it's something that just kind of happened from it, is that she has, like, just like Jake, she has, like, no human contact. Her grandpa died when she was 2, so she's been raised by a dog.
I think she was a little bit older when grandpa died. She was a little bit older than Jake, so I think she was, like, able to handle it better.
Oh, that's right. She also had Prospect. She also had the people on Prospect, because she woke up, she was the first to wake up.
She also had Beck.
Yeah.
So
Jake had
helped.
no one. He had the
Yeah,
bulls.
Jake was just fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jade's and John's, it's a little bit harder to connect them to their personalities. So those ones I could probably figure something out. I could probably bullshit something. But yeah, that was always the connection between the lands and the characters, and that's why I really like Clockwork Melody.
To those in Joplin, Missouri, when this episode comes out, the Rickmobile will be stopping by in your town.
The Rickmobile? Oh, shit. Rick and Morty fans unite.
Isn't that the one that looks like it's like a repainted hot dog car?
Yeah, it's those Oscar Mayer Wiener trucks. I got one that's like a whistle somewhere.
Let me look this up. Rick.
Anyway, next song, Airfare. Roxy, you can look it up.
Oh god, that's terrifying. He looks like a rat.
Turned myself into a rat car, Morty. I'm Rickmobile Rick.
I'm Rat Car Rick.
Imagine getting inside of this thing.
Imagine this just being your car.
Oh god. It's like Daffy Duck's float from the Looney Tunes show.
Yes.
He tried to make it his car and then it just got fucked.
I think I recognize those plucked strings. I think those are the sound... I'm pretty sure RuneScape sampled those.
I think that this likely sampled RuneScape.
Well, the trumpets are too high quality for RuneScape's shitty midis, but definitely those plucked strings. I recognize those.
Yeah. So yeah, let's stop this horrible song.
It feels like fucking John's walking into Lumbridge.
It's boring and forgettable, and I didn't even know that it was a real song until about 30 minutes before the podcast started.
Vriska playing RuneScape would be one of those people that's like buying GF, selling... They're playing the GF stock market. Buying GF, selling GF, trading GF.
What is GF? Is that the currency in RuneScape?
Girlfriend.
RuneScape is a game played by children who don't understand social...
Okay, that's what I thought at first.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you meant... Because, yeah...
Vriska would show up in Lumbridge with her full dragon armor set and abyssal whip. She's that kind of person.
Here's my entire experience with RuneScape.
Us scapies,
I
as we call ourselves.
A total of exactly 10 minutes on a computer at a school during a summer camp at YMCA. Yeah,
it's fun
exactly
to
10 minutes on RuneScape 2.
RuneScape 2, holy fuck. 2. Oh, no, wait, no, that was the one I played too.
RuneScape 2 was in browser, right?
Yeah, I used to go to the library with my little brother, and we would play RuneScape for like 13 hours.
Actually,
we would play it from morning until they kicked us off the computers.
It might have been RuneScape 1 now that I'm thinking about it. Let me look up RuneScape 2 and let me...
RuneScape 1 is like ugly as fuck. If you played RuneScape after 2005, you played RuneScape 2.
It was RuneScape 2. It was RuneScape 2, yeah.
But yeah, RuneScape is really cool. I got Airfare. This is just another one of those songs that just kind of exists. It's not bad. It's perfectly reasonable. It's it kind of follows up on that Savior of the Waking World feel where everyone's royal. It feels more like a song that would have been used on Skaia, maybe, for some kind of procession where they would, or rather on Prospect, if like this would be a song that they would play when John and Jade woke up or something, you know, welcoming them to, you know, welcome the Prospect, here's your fucking trumpet.
So, is that it?
Yeah, that's all the songs
Is that
we
the
have.
episode?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Alright, well, this has been fun, Tad. You seem like a pretty chill bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn right I'm chill. But you fucking say anything else.
A very kind-hearted incel. We're all kind-hearted incels here.
Hey, don't tell anyone, but Tad was yelling at us before the podcast started. Don't tell anyone.
He was verbally abusing me.
Yeah,
He
I
was
was
telling me
screaming
that I
at
was
them for their how fucking unprofessional you are.
He said that I was a
take this goddamn podcast.
He said
more
that I was a
seriously.
fat-ass fucker who doesn't wash his face.
I'm sorry I don't have a $1,000 audio setup.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
you
that I
should
messed
be.
up that Back to the Future quote.
All right, well, yeah, it was fun talking about Homestuck music. I never get the chance to, because everyone I speak to is like, Tad, please stop talking to me about Homestuck. I don't know what Homestuck is. I don't care. I don't want to know what it is. So it's nice to get a little bit of a reprieve from that.
Yeah, we talked a lot about a lot of stuff. So, yeah. And plus, this'll get us... We're using you for your fame, by the way. So
I
we
was
can get
used
on Jimmy Kimmel.
for
I want
podcast
to get on
development.
Jimmy Kimmel. That's all I want. I just want to get on Ellen.
Get Jimmy
Didn't
Kimmel.
you guys use GPM for views?
I don't know. He had a fun story to share. That's why I got him on. Anyway, I think this is
The Neo,
off.
yeah.
This is getting off topic. So thanks for having me on. Listen to Revival, a Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast. It's really good. I play Pat Normstrom on it.
Read my comic.
Yes.
Inhospitable. I'm gonna force Luke to put it in the description of both episodes we just recorded.
I already was going to. Do not worry at all.
Okay, good.
Now, let's sign off with the catchphrase because Scarrow isn't here. Would you like some LMTYAs?
Oh yeah, I gotta hit stop.
That's the episode.
Homestuck sucks. That's the last thing I'm going to go out on. And hit stop.